Season 17 of Cosmic Crucible is upon us, and if you are like me, you are enjoying Cosmic Crucible. And with a new season brings new rules. And so in this video, we're going to break down those new rules and what I'm going to be using on defense. And I will give some options for other defenses in these rooms. So if you want to know what I'm doing for Season 17, at least for week 1, then join me in this video.
Hard, no cash to spend, free to play till the very
Alright, so Season 17 of Cosmic Crucible, and first things first, we need to go over the global rules. And the named global rule this time around is Short Fuse. This is on offense and defense, or on defense and offense. Blastar characters, when attacked, are going to gain +1 bomb burst and are going to gain 20% to their primary stats. And then we have the general global rules, which are in every Cosmic Crucible that we ever do, which is all characters on defense are going to gain 20% max health and 10% damage. And after each completed attack, gain +1 exhausted. Cancelled combats do not gain the +1 exhausted. So a season with rules based around Blastar. I can see why. So far in my use of Blastar in Cosmic Crucible, certainly at the 4 yellow, it doesn't feel great, guys. It doesn't feel great. I'm sure it will get better. Red stars will be coming hopefully fairly soon. That'll make him better. More yellow stars coming, make him even better again. So I'm sure it's coming. It's just, it just feels a little bit flat, shall we say. Anyway, let's get on to the rooms, and room 1 is Glass Cannon. This is a stage that we have had before in a Ultimate 32. But for a reminder of the rules, striker characters are going to spawn with Safeguard. They're going to gain 90% minus 90% max health, and they're going to gain 100% damage, and they're going to spawn with 5 death proofs. And Fortifier characters are going to spawn with Taunt. So the striker characters having Safeguard, max health, minus max health, extra damage, death proofs. One character that I would recommend to keep on offense for this room, if you want to, is Medusa, because she will reduce those death proofs. Now, the team that I'm going to run in here is a very similar team to what I ran last time this was around, and that is the 4-piece Liberty and then Thanos Endgame. Now, this works really well because Thanos, when he gets his minus 90% max health, it doesn't take him down in health bar. It just takes his max health off. So as soon as you like tap him, he goes and does his passive, which is going to clear all your positive effects. It's going to do massive damage, and every one of these characters in this room of mine is gear tier 20 and level 105, so they are going to hit really hard. Sam having that Fortifier is going to make him spawn with death proof. We got Patriot, who I've got as a raider, just so we can get a few more vulnerables out there if needs be. And then we've got Peggy, who is a striker and is always a striker in my mind. And then Falcon Joaquin, who is also a striker, but he is going to give speed up to my Liberty characters with his striker attack. And Sam, on his ultimate, which is what he'll open with, will give the speed bar to not only the Liberty characters, but also to Thanos, as he is a skill character. So we will see how that room does. Can probably be quite easily countered, but it might catch some people off. Stage 2, Blood Transfusion. Now, I did look back and see if we had this room before, and we actually have. It was in Season 8 of Cosmic Crucible, but we didn't have the teams that we have now around. So on defense and offense, all characters on turn are going to gain bleed. Characters with bleed gain plus 5% damage per bleed. And when applying bleed, they're going to gain defense up. And so here I'm going to put in my Night Stalkers with Scientist Supreme. Again, this is really a filler room for me. Night Stalkers with Scientist Supreme do cause some issues. Yes, they can be countered by Vigilante as long as Blade doesn't flip speed up on himself. If Blade flips speed up on himself, it can be a completely and utterly different ball game. Stage 3 Legends, we've just had this in the most recent Ultimate 32, so we should all know what this room is doing, but just as a reminder, on defense and offense, legendary characters are going to gain 20% base stats. On turn end, they are going to gain assists now, and on turn, they're going to spread their positive effects to adjacent allies. And so in here, I'm choosing to go with, and this is complete and utter Immortal X-Men bait here. I'm going to go with Phoenix, Super Skrull, Gladiator, Quasar, and Omega Red Phoenix Force. The theory here is that Phoenix and Quasar are in the positions they are because that is going to allow them to spread the most positive effects to their adjacent allies. Obviously, Super Skrull is going to get the full benefits of his kit here because we do have 2 heroes in both Phoenix and Quasar and 2 villains in Omega Red, Phoenix Force, and Gladiator. So he's going to get everything from his kit. And hopefully this will just give us enough of an oomph to maybe just get past those Immortal X-Men. Stage 4, Mutant Double. Now, when I first looked at this room, I was thinking that I didn't have anything really for this, but upon working through my offense, I found something that I was going to put in this room that might help a little bit. Probably won't, but we will see. So the room rules for this room: on defense and offense, villain mutant characters are going to get the following. Whenever a villain mutant character uses an ultimate ability, revive an ally villain mutant character at 100% health. This can only occur once per character using their ultimate. So obviously this room is fully targeted at using your Hellfire Club in. If you were to have Sebastian Shaw, Emma Frost, Apocalypse, a few other characters, you could even put your Phoenix Force in with those 3. That would be a really, really powerful room here. However, what I have chosen to go with is this. So we have the Cabal with Dormammu and Shadow King. Why have we gone with that? Well, Namor is a villain mutant, so is Shadow King. There is a possibility that we get round to the point where, especially with the revives from Dormammu, which again can be easily countered, I know, but again, if they're pulling counters to this room, they can't use them in other rooms. But what my thoughts is here is that if we can get round to the point where, let's say, because Namor's going to go pretty early in the game, but Shadow King is going to do his ultimate on the 2nd turn. So if Namor is dead by then, that will bring Namor back for me. Hopefully that will get round to Leader's next turn. And Leader's next turn, hopefully he will do the ultimate, which will give Namor the ability energy back to be able to do his ultimate again, which will then bring Shadow King back. And obviously they've all got revives already anyway, thanks to the Dormammu. So hopefully that will work. I don't know if it will, but that is the plan for this room. Stage 5 is Fester. Again, we have just had this in the latest Ultimate 32. And in the Ultimate 32, I ran my Mephisto with Accursed because we had so many options. But here, we need to spread ourselves out a bit more. And I like to be a bit more offense heavy than defense heavy where Cosmic Crucible is concerned. So the room rules, just as a reminder for this, is on offense and defense, all characters at end of turn characters with trauma gain +1 bleed. So not a really impactful room. It's pretty much a dead room. And what I'm going to put in here is my Thunderbolts. And the reason for this is because that until Songbird goes, and yes, she's pretty quick, but until Songbird goes, as long as she's got 4 other Thunderbolt members, they cannot gain trauma. And so that's going to protect us at least on the first turn from getting the trauma and gaining the bleeds. So as I said, this is just a filler room, but Songbird is protecting us from that trauma on the first turn. And the final stage, stage 6, is Dacier's Avengers. Hopefully they get this room right this time around because they did have to pull it last time because it wasn't working properly. On defense and offense, and on offense and defense. And I think they've got to do that through the coding so that it works properly on both sides of the field. All characters, if you have at least one city ally, when an ally uses a special or ultimate ability, all allies are going to gain 5% barrier. I don't think that's really that impactful. In all honesty, it's not great. If you have at least one global ally when attacked, allies fill speed bar by 5%. Now that is impactful. So one global ally will get you filling speed bar. And if you have at least one cosmic ally, allies do damage that reduces the max health of the target by the same amount. That's really good. So ideally you want to have some global allies and some cosmic allies. So what I'm running in this room is the following. We've got Black Knight, we've got Null, we've got Nightcrawler, we've got Professor X, and we have Emma Frost X-Men. Null is there to stop the Mephisto coming in and just absolutely wiping the floor with my Professor X. Black Knight is there as the Praetor, obviously. Nightcrawler is there to stop any Emma Frost, old Emma Frost, coming into the room and changing our speed around. And Emma Frost X-Men is there to negate the speed that Starjammers might get coming in here. So we're going to get that. Allies doing damage that reduces the max health of the target by the same amount because we've got Null there, who is a cosmic ally, and we have 4 global allies there, so that filling speed bar will stay around hopefully for a bit. If you do not have Professor X, and you want to put something in this room, my personal opinion here would be to put your Illuminati, so your 3-piece Illuminati, that's Captain Britain, Black Panther Shuri, and Hank Pym. You can then put in Black Knight. Black Knight is a given. He's a pre-taunting tank. He is very, very good. I would then personally either put in one of the following characters. Either Odin, for that Odinati. You could put in Doctor Strange, or if you wanted a very, very cheap room, you know, if you weren't overly worried and you just wanted to have as much on offense as possible, you could put in here Black Bolt. Now, Black Bolt is a cosmic ally, and he is going to give that max health to the other Illuminati members as well, which will help them slightly if you've got them built up enough. But this is what I am personally running in this room. So what are you thinking of running for season 17 of Cosmic Crucible? Let me know in the comments down below. Also, let me know in the comments down below, how did your U32 go? I am interested to know how everyone got on. Personally, I don't know because my opponent hasn't attacked at time of recording, but I think I am going to be going 2 and 3 this week. So I'm going to have a losing record in the Ultimate 32, but time will tell and we will see. Don't forget, if you found this video helpful, please consider dropping a like on the video, subscribe to the channel for more content, and until next time, everyone, stay positive.